qualifying as far as the Grand Touring prototype field is concerned. It's Precision Racing Esports Silver on top with Overtake right behind. Penguin RC Carbon is up there. The coverage to the end today, so buckle up and get ready for this one. Short pace lap here as well, Jake. Is that going to contribute to the inability to get tires up to temp before we drop that green? The coverage to the end today, so buckle up and get ready for this one. Short pace lap here as well, Jake. Is that going to contribute to the inability to get tires up to temp before we drop that green flag?
Yes, I think that the track temperature as well is also playing a factor into that. The fact that it's only 22 degrees there in Celsius. I think we're really in for a short, quick, we're going to really need the first 2 or 3 laps. It's going to be very difficult for Dominic Eisenberg and the championship leading twin-turn sim racing ultraviolet car to find that overtake, and now all of a sudden leaves them open as we've got traffic. Oh, you're going to have to go all the way off the road here as you're leading LMP2, Boris Ovando, having to get well out of it as they're allowed to scrap the position.
Arch, and that's been a lead change. Overtake has gone to the top spot. Precision Racing Silver has dropped down a position in all of that chaos as they make their way through lap traffic. Here's what happened here as...
That's serving of a slowdown, isn't it?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, to the front, though. Precision Racing Esports Silver has caught Overtake. It's only 0.4 of a second between them.
Well, Boris Angel Ovando has the pace and has the pace in spades, so you can't really argue about how quick he is. The man from Club Texas in the United States getting very aggressive then through at the loop section of the circuit, leading on now through Aintree and onto the Wellington Straight.
As I am for this battle for the top spot, just 20 minutes in, and Ben Ford on defense here, now back into traffic. There's the twin-turn sim racing car. He has to wait. He has to lock it up. Here goes Angel Ovando to the inside and takes the lead back away.
It's the sort of pit lane that is very single track and was almost feels like an afterthought here around this circuit. You can see, whoa!
What car was that down there at Club?
Well, whatever it was making an awful lot of smoke. Let's put it that way.
Oh, was that the
for a
leader?
Bit of comparison. Oh, my word. That is your race leader. Very nearly clattering the side there of Ramon Shepper in the Venom Sim Racing car.
Oh, man, he wasn't quite there to take the overtake and had to jam on the binders and slow it down, or right-hand corners, rather. Here comes Michael Diaz. Here's that climb out of the pits that you mentioned, and back onto the road. 49 seconds spent in the pit stall and rejoins into traffic. There goes the 111 Precision Racing Silver Cadillac of Michael Diaz. This was one of the cars that was involved in that late race collision at Watkins Glen that took them out of the attempt for the win. I think it was this car that was hitting pit lane and was rear-ended from behind. So they are looking for redemption today. And just like at Watkins Glen, we're out to a pretty solid advantage. RC Carbon and Precision Racing Esports Silver. Diaz continues to hound him. 2 Cadillacs and an Acura in the top 3 with just under 5 hours to go. This is going to get really good.
It is going to get really good, but the one thing that Penguin car doesn't want to be is very much like Penguins, endangered, and that happens when you get into battles. So you get that sense that Blake Reynolds here is looking behind at Michael Diaz, does not want to give him an opportunity to get through, but realizes that the closer he gets, the more likely they get. Oh, he was right up underneath him there. I think he was actually completely under the rear spoiler at that moment in time through turn 3 at Village Courtins there that I think really do personify it, as here goes race lead battle. This is surely Michael Diaz's time now. He is tucked up underneath. He might decide he wants to go to the inside. He will at the latest available opportunity. Blake Reynolds will give him the room and will not fight him initially through turn-in. So thank you very much. That puts Precision back into the point.
For the GTP lead, let's go back a little further and see how all this transpired. Here he is fresh out of the pit lane. And he just didn't have a lot to defend here.
This is just pure confidence coming out of the pits. That's how quick and easy it is to get back out there and just attack when you've got fresh tires out there. That's the sort of race where Precision Racing Esports Silver have the control, but they could so easily lose it here at round 3 of MTEC.
A little bit of a situation where they were held up a little bit trying to get through some traffic, and I'd be curious to see if Ovando maybe starts to try to stretch his legs a little bit, push that gap a little bit more. This is exactly the kind of race that they need to have. We sort of had this team circled as maybe one to keep an eye out for coming into this season. We obviously know what Precision Racing Esports can do, and seeing them come alive such as they have, it's been, frankly, very, very good to see, and they are absolutely running the race that I thought they'd be running here in Silverstone.
Diaz, he's hooked up in that Precision Racing car.
Yeah, he really and truly is. The gap's grown to about 12.7 seconds here at this point, and you can see, I mean, just putting in lap after lap after lap. He's doing an absolutely stellar job to be able to bring that on through. And, I mean, look at that. He's only about 1.2 seconds off the fastest time that car has set down here today. That is one heck of a mark to put in.
Full course yellow.
Oh, and we're getting word full course yellow.
Down and drive on your pit speed limiter.
And that's going to spice everything up.
It's going to make things incredibly spicy here at this point. And this is exactly the worst case scenario here for Diaz. We were just commending him on how well he was able to pull away here at this point. Well, now he's got to re-rack, restack, and try to get everything pulled back in, as he's going to be under pressure here, no doubt, from Penguin RC Simulation and Satellite Racing Arnage. Looks like a very bad pit stop there for Michael Diaz. Actually going to be put back down in 3rd place, and crucially looks like behind the lapped car of Nicholas Schwartz there, the teammate for Precision Racing.
Green flag, 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 15 seconds remain. And here we go, green flag back in the air in the MTEC Endurance Series, round number 3 here from Silverstone. Richardson off and away, and got a nice jump over Michael Diaz, who's got some lap traffic between himself and the overall leader, Finine, as they head into the...
Ooh, lock up at the 66.
Oh, boy. And they're locked up behind him as well.
And immediately Justin Richardson going to lose the lead. Bin Boy's trying to take advantage in the 59. Little bit of a slip for the 111 coming off the corner. Not going to be side by side. Gets pinched by the Bin Boys machine. The 59 to the lead, and here comes Justin Richardson in the 66 coming on back for second.
The Bin Boys car leads over Michael Diaz. It's 4/10 in closing here. No major dramas in GT3s. It's Batten over Victor Lind. Then it's half a second back to Youngwall and Ayers. Again, if there's a fierce fight there, we'll take it to you, but it is dramatic at the front right now.
And here we go back again now for battle for the lead. Key thing is, too, that lap car up in front, that's a sister Precision Racing Esports car. That's the black machine up ahead.
Defense.
So, oh, here comes now the Bin Boys car on the defense. Diaz on the outside, side by side here, heading through Brooklands and into Luffield.
Yeah, it's tough to maintain this inside, or the outside line rather here. There's not a lot of grip out there, so it looks like, well, can't get throttled down.
Not so much on the inside either. It's hard trying to pinch that car off. You get the back end out. Side by side, drag race down to Cops Corner. The 59 will back out of it. The 111 to the lead. That's where that's from.
Leaders are in thick traffic right now. That's one thing we haven't had to redo. Right around the outside in the green. Since the drop of the green flag, the first run through the traffic was really treacherous. Here comes Thomas O'Leary, 3 wide, split the difference. O'Leary's not waiting around in the Bin Boys Cadillac around the outside through Cops. That's not going to work. The 111 re-clears himself.
Oh, this is getting very dicey here, and they're still coming up. Now they're coming up on the GT3 leaders into Maggots and Beckett's, and they're both going to be held up here.
And yeah, this is that battle with the Ferraris we were just referencing. It gets really tight here. They're going to slide in ahead of the Quokka Racing Ferrari, make their way past the overtake Ferrari, and Thomas O'Leary's going to have a great run. Turn up that hybrid system in the slipstream. Here he goes under the Johnny Walker Bridge to the left into Stowe Corner.
Boost mode engaged for the 59, trying to work around the outside into Stowe. If he can hang on, he can get a great run into the chicane, but can't quite hang on around the outside.
Angel Ovando leaves the pit lane, climbs out from the void that is that pit exit, and jumps immediately back onto the racetrack, and thankfully in very clear air. I just don't know that there's a lot to gain there, to be honest. Oh,
not.
You
I mean,
see
a
that?
little bit.
Corner entry?
Wide on entry.
Yeah, this has been, we've seen this a handful of times today. Watch them, so the curbing ends and then restarts, and watch Boris here cheat to the left, cross the line, and then he wants the curbing, but he's going to drop a tire right there, and that car high-centered. You saw the right rear wheel pop off the ground. So that is extremely aggressive, and I always worry about putting a loaded tire on a non-grippy surface because that could get you in trouble really quick. Michael Diaz, by the way, has climbed back behind the wheel of the 111, and they are leading. Michael Diaz, this whole team, they have been using and abusing the left side of that road going into Abbey. Surprised that hasn't caught them out just yet. They just have to be smart. We watched Diaz a couple laps ago carve his way through traffic, and now comes the final pit stop of the day for the Precision Racing Esports Silver team. And this is where we're going to get our best understanding of how this race is going to complete. And Michael Diaz and his teammates have put on a clinic today in GTP. I mean, with the bin boys out as far as having to make it to the end, next closest car is 19 seconds behind that, so they will have a almost 30-second lead. And they played this race very smart. They didn't have the same issues and run-ins that they had at Watkins Glen, and look at what has paid off for them, the speed, the pace. So the Precision Racing Esports Silver team through traffic has contended with it since the drop of the green flag. This time through, they are going to get a white flag. Good. Michael Diaz, though, for Precision Racing Esports Silver, he has been the hot shoe. He and his teammate today have just put on an exceptional display of racecraft. They have picked and prodded their way through the traffic. They have outlasted 6 hours at Silverstone in the MTEC Endurance Series Round 3. Precision Racing Esports was the most precise today. Checkered flag at Silverstone. Precision Racing Esports Silver wins fittingly at Silverstone. Burnouts and celebrations for Precision Racing Esports. Team though in GTP with us now. Michael and Boris join us. So let's start with Boris. Boris, carving your way through traffic, clicking away things, setting up the strategy. It was just a job well done, a clinical race put on by you and your team today.
Thank you guys. Yeah, we appreciate it. Quali went pretty good. I actually messed up the second lap, and I was afraid we weren't going to get the pole. But luckily we did, and the first run through traffic was a little scary. I picked outside, and I was hoping they would see me, and they didn't, so I had to just maneuver all the way outside the track, got the slowdown, and we lost the lead, but we were able to fight our way back.
And then, Michael, you know, you were always such a hot shoe behind the wheel of this Cadillac V-Series RGTP. It was pretty impressive to watch you just drive away from drivers like Paul Darling and Jesse Line and Satellite Racing Arnage. Those are really talented drivers. Take me through your run today.
Yeah, I was actually expecting to struggle in the Caddy here with so many high-speed corners, but the boards did an amazing job on the setup, and it really allowed me to just do whatever I want with the car today. So yeah, the setup was key, so thanks to Boris for that. Other than that, Boris just told me to push. That was our strategy from the beginning, just push and see what happens in the end, and it seemed to work out.
Well, job well done to both of you. Congratulations, and that's a win on the season. Should propel you forward in the point standing.